Islam was a distant religion abroad, wasn't it, in the Middle East? But now it's here, isn't it? It's in our house now.
It's Islamic Awareness Week at Bristol University, and a mixture of the faithful and the curious is gathering to hear a talk by the Star Turn, former Fleet Street reporter Ivonne Ridley.
Brothers, sisters and friends, salam alaikum.
3 years ago, she would have struggled to find anything to say to a group like this. But then, as far as she's concerned, she was a very different person back then.
The Yvonne Ridley before 9/11 has been compared to Patsy Stone out of Absolutely Fabulous. I've been married 3 times. I've got an 11-year-old daughter. And I suppose, even by journalistic standards, it's quite a disastrous life.
In 2001, just as the so-called War on Terror was getting underway, the Sunday Express reporter put on a burqa and crossed into Afghanistan to report on life under the Taliban.
Yvonne was an inexperienced foreign correspondent. More experienced foreign correspondents had also thought of doing that. People on the Sunday Telegraph, people on the Times, their papers had all stopped them. They'd said, no, you're very likely to get picked up.
I think she was foolish because she's a single mother, and she plunged herself into a situation which could have had a terrible, terrible ending.
Nobody would ask if any high-profile male war correspondents, no one would probe into their private lives, saying, what on earth did she think she was doing, going in there when she's got a child? This would never be asked of John Simpson.
You become invisible directly you put it on. No one even glances at women here.
The big difference between John Simpson and Ivonne Ridley was that she got caught. She was held on spying charges and fully expected to be stoned. But instead of ending her life, her experiences in that Afghan cell were to change her life forever.
For 6 days I had avoided talking about religion. And there I was, confronted with a cleric. And I looked at him and I just thought, oh no, it's the God Squad.
He asked me what religion I was. And I said, I'm a Protestant, the Church of England. And he smiled and he said, and what do you think about Islam? Oh, I said, it's wonderful. I said, it's absolutely amazing.
And he smiled again and he said, so, you would like to convert? And I thought, if I say yes, he will accuse me of being a very fickle, insincere woman. If I say no, he will accuse me of insulting Islam. Either way, I'll be hauled off and stoned.
And I thought about it, and I looked at him and said, thank you very much for your kind offer, but I can't possibly make such a life-changing decision while I'm in prison. However, if you let me go, I will read the Quran and I will study Islam when I return to London. That is my promise.
4 days later, despite the fact that the coalition had started bombing Kabul, the Taliban took Ivonne to the Pakistan border and released her unharmed.
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's good to be here. Thank you. After all the fuss died down, I started reflecting on the visit that I'd had from the cleric.
And I thought, well, they've kept their word and now I should keep mine. And I started to read the Quran.
And I went through all the women's issues because I had to find out what is in this book that promotes the subjugation and oppression of women. And there's nothing in there. Far from saying women should be oppressed, it says quite clearly that women are equal in spirituality, worth and education. And furthermore, we're praised for our child-rearing and childbirth capabilities.
So in my book, that means that women are probably the deluxe model of the human being. Nobody's smiling over here, right?
I then looked at property and inheritance laws, things that have just come into the gift of Western women in the last 100 years. And, you know, it's all there. It's like a Magna Carta for women. I wanted to go running back to Afghanistan and say to my captors, hey guys, what have you been reading? You know, because did you know? And I remember complaining about it once, and this Muslim woman said, Ivonne, Islam is perfect. Unfortunately, the people who practice it aren't. And I thought, yes, she's right.
Anyway, I'm very, very happy to tell you that I did take my Shahada on June 30th last year. And I have now joined what I consider to be the biggest family in the world. Just makes me so proud to stand before you today and say I am a Muslim. Thank you.
Whatever her feelings for her new family, Ivonne still had to square her conversion with the old one. And when it came to breaking the news to her mum, the woman who'd braved 10 days with the Taliban suddenly lost her nerve.
Did what many converts choose to do, and that is not tell their parents until afterwards.
Hello! Hi!
I sent mother an email, and her immediate reaction was to start to go to church. And much to her annoyance, I said, that's fantastic, you know, already Islam is having a positive effect on our lives.
I've got some sandwiches made.
No ham sandwiches.
No. I've been trying to think, what can I make without bacon? I wasn't happy. I didn't like it, you know.
But do you not think it's because you've got some sort of irrational prejudices against Islam, because basically you don't really understand it?
Well, no, I think it's just the culture, and maybe if you've been born over there it might be different. But to change...
But over where?
In the
because
middle of the stream.
Islam, you know, transcends nationalities, borders, countries, cultures. It transcends everything. And here we go.
Here we go. You see, I'm being educated now.
Well, it's so frustrating,
yeah.
because I know that you are a spiritual person, and I just think you could be so much happier.
Well, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't understand it like you do, you see.
Islam has helped me rethink all my relationships, especially with my daughter.
My baby, look, you!
I look back and see a bit of a lost soul, a pleasure-seeking person that never quite found it. But I really feel as though I know where I'm going now.
The thing I'm pleased about is that she stopped drinking. And if Islam have done that for her, well, it can't be too bad.
A water, please.
Oh my God.